Hey everyone, Pelican Tacos here. Just want to make a quick video on how to change your spawn point. A lot of times when you are in game and you want players to come in, you want them to go to a specific spot. So let's talk about it. So for example, here I want all my players when they come into the world, I want them to spawn right inside this little command block bucket. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take note of our coordinates here. It's x 1373, y 3, z 616. You see that on the left side there? You always want to use the ones in the parentheses on like x, for example. It says 1373.7, but you use the one in the parentheses. That's the more accurate one. All right, so what we're going to do, I want my current, or my new spawn needs to be here. This is my old spawn. So this is where the world spawn is, and it's at 1441, 4696. Spawns right here. And if it didn't spawn right here, what we could do very easily is dice type in SetWorldSpawn, and it will spawn right here. Notice it's 1441, 4696. Boom. So this is the world spawn, is right here. All right. And we are going to now look at the kind of the dynamics or the physics or math behind the spawn point. We look here. That's my spawn point. You spawn anywhere inside this yellow box. It's a 33 by 33 box. Each dark blue is 5, so 5, 10, 15, 16. So from this beginning, from the spawn point here, you go 16 blocks this way, 16 blocks this way, and 33 all the way down there. So you end up with a 33 by 33 box. And what we're going to do, notice there's red there, and that's going to have to do with the radius from which you start. So if what we're going to do is under here I have a command block that says TP, the nearest player, game mode 0, meaning they'll be in survival. So if you're in creative, you won't be teleported away from this. So if you're in survival, the radius is a minimum of, let's change this to 16, and let's talk about that here for a second. And this is my new spawn point. That's that bucket, 1373, 3616 is inside that bucket at the very beginning. Now, I changed the radius here to 16. And let's talk about why 16 doesn't work. That might be your first thought about what you want to do. But notice, this works if it's 16 away. If I teleport anyone from here, it'll teleport anyone with game mode of survival 16 blocks away. But the corners are not 16 blocks away. These are about, let's count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are about 23 blocks away. So if you say this is 16, this is where I started. I marked it here. This would be 16. That's 16 away. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So just about 23, 24 away needs to be that radius. So from the command block there. Now it's going to make it a little bit bigger, but that's no big deal. What you'll do is you'll just make sure that this is in your world further away from anywhere anyone can be. Because if they get close to it, they'll immediately spawn or teleport over to that bucket area or wherever you've set it. A quick note about this world spawn point is that anything in this chunk will always be loaded into the game. And for example, I have a daylight sensor up there, and if I get far enough away from it, it will not actually load into the game. Whereas if I wanted it to load all the time, because it's on an infinite redstone loop, I'd put it above my particular chunk, or I put it below the ground. So this chunk always stays loaded into the game, whereas if you think about it, if you've ever run really, really fast, or if you've gone into other worlds and you notice that the chunks are loading, that's just, chunk is just a data where it stores all of the information for that little section of blocks. So with that, we have come down here. This is my command block. I will change this now. Let's just do 23. Let's just do 24 just to be safe. And so what this will do, notice here, it is on an infinite comparator loop. We just put redstone into it, make this little redstone here. Comparator, make sure you flip the switch there on the end, add a redstone torch. So if I get rid of that, notice the redstone torch is active. Boom, sets it up, and it will do an infinite loop. It's a quick infinite loop there. Set this back up to make it look all nice and pretty. And then watch what happens when I switch my game mode to survival. Boom, I'm instantly teleported to this bucket. Really, really cool. Notice I was facing in this particular direction, I was facing south. In 1.8, you can actually change the direction of where they rotate. If you notice here, next to F, where it says to north, and then there's negative 161, that rotates. That's a rotational. That's the rotation all the way around 360 degrees. It's 0 to 180, and then negative 180 back up to 0. So those give you the different degrees of how you can rotate someone whenever they're teleported. So that's pretty cool too. A great addition. So that's pretty much it for the spawn point transportation. They used to have it so that you could, set up a whole bunch of tripwires, and then inside the tripwires you would, spawn inside that block, and then bam, you would move over. Command blocks are much, much easier, and I really recommend you using them. So that's pretty much it on how to set your world spawn point. So good luck, guys. Go to work.